Welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting together side by side for financial freedom. Let's go ahead and take another quick look here at the Zbec price. As we can see that today we are actually in the green, whereas the rest of the market is pretty much in the red. You can see a lot of coins down double digits and stuff like that. It's really almost a set day for everything else except for Zbec, and it really gives me a little bit of hope. Obviously, I hold other different altcoins and stuff like that, but the reason why we are seeing Zbec pretty much in green today is because of the announcement that the team has made. Basically, it's an announcement of another announcement that is going to be coming tomorrow, the 23rd of September, and they are hinting here that they're going to be announcing a major partnership with a major institutional partnership coming tomorrow. So we're going to be staying tuned for that. However, what we have also seen time and again in crypto is that an announcement of an announcement tends to be a little bit of a lackluster. So it really remains to be seen what eventually happens there. I have to mention obviously that the last few announcements, the major ones for Zbec, have not let us down. I think there was a big announcement which was made down here, and it literally sent the price up as high as like 900%. So now that we are back on support levels, is it really also going to be the case that something major is announced here and then we start pushing out of that support, hitting like our price targets? We have got as high as like 2.5 cents and potentially up as high as like 5 cents as well. So we'll talk about that in today's video. Really, I'm not going to be dwelling much on the potential partnership because I just don't know what it is, but there are some few things that we have always been talking about time and again here on Zbec, and those things include the support here that I was saying. I think this is maybe the 1st of September or something like that. I was saying that our support level is between 0.0037 for Zbec and as low as 0.0034. Surely up until this point, in as much as we have had like the chaos in the last 24 hours or so, we just saw Zbec getting back towards that 0.0037, and that was just that we haven't dipped lower than that. So I think it's perfect. If we also take a look at the other indicators, taking a look at the RSI is also looking like we have somewhat of a bullish divergence right there. And on the 3 daily time frame, we have got momentum kind of shifting here. When we take a look at the MACD, we are seeing that the selling pressure is kind of, wearing thin a little bit right there. So I think that's okay. And it's things that we are always optimistic about. But I think one of the most important things that we have taken a look at with Zbec is pertaining to what the Stellar Lumens one was back then in 2017, 2018. And I have likened it to what Zbec has done so far. So I have that bull run here on my right, and you can see almost the same identical accumulation that we saw with Zbec for multiple years. I think it was like 3 years or something like that, and we can see pretty much also the same thing here for Zbec going for an extended Wyckoff accumulation pattern right there. Then of course a big breakout just happens to show up there with some kind of a back test right close to the top of that Wyckoff accumulation pattern, and we also pretty much saw the same thing happening with Zbec. You can see it rising quickly, then back testing a previous resistance into a support. So that's what we saw here with Stellar Lumens as well. And I think so far you can already analyze and start to see some similarities. I would say that when it comes to this chart of the Stellar Lumens, we are right around somewhere of this area, just having the last pullback before the whole thing starts pushing towards the upside. So naturally I would be expecting the Zbec price to hold the support, just as I've been saying over the last few updates, a parabolic run. And this is where I was saying that my targets are as high as like 2.5 cents as well as high as like 5 cents. The reason why we say that is we were taking a look at Fibonacci extension 2 when it came to Stellar Lumens here, and we said from the very peak until the bottom here, one thing that we saw happening was that we were finding our first initial reactions, rejections to be specific, at the full Fibonacci scale. So if we come back here to Zbec and pretty much apply the same thing from the very top until the bottom there, we are also seeing that right around 2.4 cents is where we see the Zbec price headed if it goes on to have a full expansion of its I would say the retracement too. However, you see that here with Stellar Lumens on the right hand side, it managed to even exceed that. So this is also a scenario that we can expect maybe for Zbec to exceed that scale. Let's go ahead and say maybe we repeat the same thing, go as high as like 250%. Now we are banging in close to 5 cents, even 6 cents. And at some point, maybe you can get to close to like 10 cents and stuff like that. At this point, we are too far from there. But I would say that realistically speaking, I think I have set my targets right around 2.5 cents, which is like a 5x from where the price is at this point. Should we be reaching levels like 5 cents? Are you looking at a 10x? Which, to be honest with you, when it comes to crypto, not really very much difficult to do, but let's say 10 cents here from where the price is sitting, you're now looking at price that gets as high as, above maybe a 25x. Let's see. I mean, yeah, maybe right around the 25x. So I don't want to get too overzealous and too bullish with that. But I would say one thing here: when Stellar Lumens was in this final parabolic stage here, it was almost unstoppable. If we want to be measuring how high it was going, with a very comparable market cap of Zbec, it pushed as high as, let's say here, something like a 35x. So it remains to be seen. I mean, this was a totally different market altogether compared to where we are with Zbec. So that's why I'm saying, okay, look, we've got a bullish structure. Everything so far is played out as it's supposed to be. But is it really just going to be repeating even the multiples? That is usually not the case. But I think 2.5 cents, realistically speaking, is I mean, I think Zbec can do that, right? Maybe even 5 cents is also possible, but it really remains to be seen. I think the most important thing is to be able to take profits, especially having had the opportunity to buy Zbec right here when the market cap was around like $70 million there. I think it's going to be a huge win. I think at this point, we're going to be waiting to see what the Zbec team is going to be announcing pertaining to the major announcement that they are making, an announcement of an announcement. And we'll be seeing what really, that does to the price. Usually these things for Zbec specifically have pushed the price higher, hoping this time we're going to be seeing the same thing as well. But I want to thank you so much for watching the video. If you could, please delicately tap the like button, share the video with your friends and family, and I will see you on the next one. Take really good care of yourselves. Bye bye.